Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with the second part of the money multiplier process or the money or credit creation process. In the previous video we have studied about the various terms related to the money or credit creation process. So those who have not watched the previous video, firstly please watch that, and after that you will be able to understand the concept of this process. And this is very much important concept from the viewpoint of your final exams also. So it is a process through which commercial banks are able to create credit which is in excess of initial deposits. Now the term here arises that create credit. As we have studied in the suppliers of money, that there are mainly three suppliers of money, that is the central bank, commercial banks and the government. But the note issuing authority is only with the central bank, that is the Reserve Bank of India. So how the commercial banks are the suppliers of money? They are the suppliers of money as they create credit. That is, they provide loans in the market from the excess of the initial deposits. That is the deposits which we make in the banks. From those deposits only they will create credit or will give the loan to the public. It is not that so that whenever the commercial banks want to give loan, they will ask RBI to issue the currency. No, it is not that so. What they used to do, the deposits which we are making in the banks, from those deposits a part of that will be kept as reserves by the commercial banks and rest will be given as credit to the borrowers. So this is the process of money multiplier process or the credit creation process. That is, we will come to know about that how these loans are provided from the amount of the deposits with the various commercial banks. And it is also one of the important functions of the commercial banks, that is creation of credit. Now every time they can't take the help of the Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India mainly issues the currency whenever they requires, or they print the new currency or notes in the market whenever it is required. But every time it is not possible for them, so the commercial banks perform this function of creation of credit. The credit creation capacity depends on, now basically this process depends on the main two factors, that is amount of initial deposits or primary deposits, that is the deposits which the public is making with the commercial banks. The amount of that affects the credit creation capacity of a commercial bank. Like we have studied the term CDR, that is cash depository ratio, in which we studied about the ratio of the currency held by the public to the currency held as deposits with the commercial bank. So those deposits, that is the amount of those deposits, will impact the credit creation capacity of the commercial banks. More is the deposits, more is the credit creation capacity of the banks, and less is the deposits and less is the credit creation capacity of the commercial banks. As we know that this capacity depends on the amount which we are keeping with the commercial banks as the deposits. So this was the first factor. The second one is LRR, which is legal reserve ratio. Now about this also we have studied in the previous video, that it is the ratio which the commercial banks need to keep out of their initial deposits, and this ratio is fixed by the central bank, and in India the central bank is the Reserve Bank of India. Now how this reserve ratio impacts the credit creation capacity? With the increase in the legal reserve ratio, the credit creation capacity will decrease. Now let's say the banks are having the deposits of 10,000 and the central bank has set the legal reserve ratio at 10%. So the reserves they have to maintain is 1,000 rupees and the rest 9,000 they can give as the credit. But if the LRR is increased to 15%, now 15% of 10,000, it is equal to 1,500. Now they have to keep more money as the reserves. Now they are left only with 8500 rupees, which means with the increase in LRR, the credit creation capacity of the banks decreases. So this is how the credit creation capacity depends on these two factors. Now in place of LRR, in some books it must be given like CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, or SLR, that is statutory liquidity ratio. So we can take CRR also in place of LRR. Now next is the assumptions of money creation process. That is the process through which the commercial banks create credit or money. Include some assumptions also. The first one is that the whole of the commercial banking system is treated as one unit. That is, all the commercial banks which are working in a certain country will be taken as only one unit. Okay. The next one is all money or monetary exchanges in an economy are done through the banks. That is, whatever transactions related to the money are taking place in an economy will be done through the banks, that is in the form of checks or any other instruments which can be used for making the monetary exchanges. So these were the two assumptions on which this process is based upon. Now here the process begins with a few terms which you need to know about is. The first one is the primary deposits, also known as initial deposits of the commercial banks. Now we as customers used to deposit some money with the commercial banks. Now that money is known as the primary deposit. So the cash deposits with the commercial banks from the people and are a part of demand deposits of the banks. That is, the deposits which the people keep with the commercial banks is known as the primary deposits, and these deposits are the part of the demand deposits of the banks. The second one is the secondary deposits or the derivative deposits. Now this is very important concept. Now these are the deposits which are also known as the derivative deposits, because when banks grant loan, it opens an account in the name of the borrowers. Like for example, I went to a commercial bank and I want loan from that bank. So what the bank will do, they will grant me loan, but in return of that they will open an account in name of the borrower, that is in my name. An account will be opened by the banks, and then the money is lent in the form of credit entry in the accounts of the borrowers. That is, they will not give me money in hand, they will instead of that do a credit entry in my account, and they will not give me in the form of cash. Now let's suppose I went to the State Bank of India and I told them to give me a loan of rupees 1 lakh. What they will do, they will open an account with the name Miss A, okay, but they will not give me rupees 1 lakh in cash. Instead of that, they will open an account in my name and will do a credit entry over there. This is debit side and this is credit side. What they will do, this is my account and they will add rupees 1 lakh over here, that is a loan has been granted to Miss A. So this rupees 1 lakh is known as the secondary deposits of the banks, as the borrowers can issue checks against these credit or loans in their account, and the checks will circulate in the economy as money. So this is the secondary deposit. The loans which are granted by the commercial banks will remain with the commercial banks only in the form of the secondary deposits. Now the next term is excess reserves. Now the surplus amount of total deposits that commercial bank can use for advancing loans. Now when the commercial banks will get the primary deposit, they will keep a percentage of the reserves with them, and the rest of amount will be given as loan by the commercial banks. So that excess reserve is explained over here. So these were the main three terms related to the money creation process. Now from here we can conclude that all demand deposits held by the people serves as money supply in the economy called the bank money. Now the demand deposits which are being deposited by the people in the commercial banks serve as a money supply in the economy, and which is also known as the bank money as it is created by the banks. Now I will explain you this process with the help of an illustration. Now let's suppose that bank receives deposits of rupees 10,000. So therefore the primary deposit is rupees 10,000, and we are also taking the assumption that all the banks in an economy are serving as a single unit, or you can say there is a single banking system, because of which we are taking these 10,000 as the deposits of all the banks as a single unit. And the RBI has set the cash reserve ratio or the legal reserve ratio as 10%, and we are assuming that it will not change. Now the total money creation, that is how much money will be created by the commercial banks, will be calculated as primary deposits or the initial deposits multiplied by 1 by CRR, that is cash reserve ratio, or over here in some books it might given LRR. Okay, now the primary deposits are taken as 10,000 rupees multiplied by 1 upon 10%, so that is equal to 1 lakh. Now with the primary deposits of 10,000 rupees, the commercial banks will create rupees 1 lakh. So this process will go on till initial deposits, that is 10,000 rupees, are equal to the total reserves, that is the reserves which will be kept by the commercial banks. Now with the help of a table, I would like to explain you that how 10,000 changes to rupees 1 lakh. Now you have to listen it very carefully. It is a table in which the 4 columns have been made. The first column shows the rounds. The second one shows the deposits or the primary deposits. The third one is the cash reserve or the reserve which is to be kept by the commercial banks, or the commercial banks may keep it with the reserve banks. And the last one is the secondary deposits or the loans. Now in the first round, the commercial banks got the deposit of rupees 10,000. From that, they are obliged to keep 10% as the reserve as set by the Reserve Bank of India. So 10% of 10,000 is 1,000, and the rest 9,000 will be given as loans by the commercial bank. Now you must be thinking that if any depositor comes out and he says that he wants to withdraw his money, then what will they do? They will take out that money from the reserves, and from their historical experience they are very much aware that all the depositors do not come up in the banks to withdraw all their deposits by way of cash. It is their experience which shows that withdrawals are normally around the 10%. Therefore this reserve is maintained by them, and the rest can be given as loans by the commercial banks. Now the point over here is that when this 9,000 will be given as loan, it will not be given in the form of cash by the commercial banks. They will give a credit entry in the account of this borrower. So these 9,000 will again be taken as the deposits of the commercial banks. Or you can think about like in an alternative manner, like if this 9,000 is to be spent by the borrower, what he will do, he will spend this money, and the person who is accepting the money will again deposit that money in the banks, as all the transactions are done through the banks. Now this 9,000 will again come as primary deposits, will again come as deposits with the commercial banks. Now again the same process, the CRR is maintained as 10%. Now 10% of this 9,000, that will be equal to 900. Now this 900 will be kept as reserve from 9,000, and rest money, that is 8,100 rupees. 9,000 minus 900 equals to 8,100 will be given as loans or secondary deposits. Now again this 8,100 will lead to the increase in the deposits of the commercial banks, and in the third round it will again come as the deposits of the commercial banks. Now from the city 100 deposits, 10% will be again maintained as reserve, that is 810, and the rest will be given as loans or will be taken as the secondary deposits of the commercial bank, that is 7290. I am explaining you once again that these are the deposits of the banks because they are not giving the money in the form of cash. They are just giving the credit entry in the account of the borrowers, and in case the borrowers are using this money, that usage of money will again come with another bank. Okay, let's take a certain example. Suppose मैं मार्केट में गई and I have spent my 9,000 rupees. Clear? अब जो मैंने ये 9,000 rupees जिस भी seller को दिए होंगे, what seller will do? Seller will again deposit that money in the commercial bank. As I have already told you that all the transactions are done through the banks. So वो 9,000 rupees जब deposits की form में commercial banks के पास आ जाएंगे, उस 9,000 rupees में से 10% दोबारा as reserve रखा जाएगा, that is 900, and the rest money, that is 8,100, will be given as the loan or secondary deposit to another borrower. Now this 8,100 rupee, in case it is again spent by any, he will again deposit that money in the banks, and as we know, all the banking system is taken as the one unit. Therefore this will be taken as the deposits of a particular commercial bank. Then again the cash reserve of 10% will be maintained, and the rest, that is 7,290 rupees, will be given as the loans or the secondary deposits, and this process will go on, and the deposits over here will come like 72900, and the reserves will be of, okay, leave this, we will finally do the total. The total over here of the deposits column will be rupees 1 lakh. The cash reserve will be of rupees 10,000, and the secondary deposits will be 1 lakh minus 10,000 equals to 90,000 rupees. Now we have taken firstly that the total money creation will be equal to primary deposit into 1 upon CRR. Over here, like we have taken primary deposit into 1 upon CRR, that is 10,000 into 1 upon 10%, that is 1 lakh. We have already taken this, that the total money creation will be rupees 1 lakh, and this money creation depends on the two factors. The first one was the primary deposits as we have studied earlier, and the second one is the CRR or the LRR, that is the cash reserves of the commercial banks. These are the two factors on which the total money creation or the credit creation capacity of the commercial banks depends. From this you came to know about that. And the second one was that initial deposits will be equal to total reserves. At this point the process will be completed. So we can see in the table now, initial deposits were of 10,000 and the total reserve came out to be 10,000. So these two became equal. So the process of credit creation has completed. From this you came to know about that how the primary deposits of 10,000 led to the credit creation of rupees 1 lakh. And this process is done by the commercial banks of a certain country by keeping a certain amount as cash reserves as indicated by the Reserve Bank of India, and rest will be given as the loans. Now you must observe over here that the total deposits which have been created is equal to the summation of the reserves plus the secondary deposits. That is 10,000 plus 90,000 equals to 1 lakh. And another thing you must observe over here is that the cash reserve at the end will also be equal to the 10% of the total reserves created or the final deposits. That is 10% of 1 lakh is equal to the 10,000 rupees. So this was all about the money creation process. And in this process we are taking the single banking system, that all the banks are taken as one unit. Now the total demand deposits are equal to the primary deposits plus secondary deposits. And another thing is that the demand deposits which are created is equal to 1 upon CRR into cash reserves. Now we can take this like 1 upon CRR was 10% into cash reserves were of 10,000 at the end. So 100 upon 10% है ना यहाँ पे, तो 10 upon 100 होगा, 100 चला जाएगा न्यूमरेटर में. So 100 upon 10 into 10,000, that will be equal to 1 lakh rupees. So total demand deposits which are created is equal to 1 lakh rupees, which can also be calculated by this formula. And this system is also known as fractional reserve banking, because in this system some percentage, some fraction of money is kept as cash reserves by the commercial banks. Therefore it is also known as fractional reserve banking. And from here you must also conclude that the part of the initial deposits circulates as loans, as from this 10,000 only we have given out the loan of 9,000, circulates as loan and comes back to the banks as a sum of their cash reserves. Now this money will come back with the commercial banks in the form of their reserves. So this is how the process takes place. And now the last concept related to this is the CRR and credit multiplier, that how cash reserve ratio is related to the credit multiplier. Before this you must be clear with the term credit multiplier. Now it is the number of times the commercial banks can create credit per unit of their cash reserves. That is how many number of times the commercial banks will create credit on the basis of the cash reserves with the RBI, and besides the cash reserves with the RBI, the banks may also hold excess reserves in the form of the vault cash. So therefore the credit multiplier, or the number of times the commercial banks will create credit, can be calculated as K, that is the credit multiplier, equals to 1 upon cash reserve ratio, and it can also be calculated as total final deposits divided by initial deposits. From this formula you must be clear that there is an inverse relation between the credit multiplier and the CRR. Now let's say the CRR is equal to 10%. Now the multiplier will be equal to 1 upon 10%, which is equal to 100 upon 10, that is 10. Now K equals to 10 means the commercial banks will create 10 times of their initial deposits or of their primary deposits if the CRR is 10%. Now if the CRR is increased to 15, let's take 20%. Now multiplier will be equal to 1 upon 20% equals to 100 upon 20, that is 5. Now you have observed over here that if the CRR increased from 10 to 20%, the credit multiplier will decrease. That is, the credit creation capacity of the commercial banks will decrease. So this is how the multiplier works. Or it can also be calculated as total final deposits upon initial deposits. Now in the illustration which we have taken, over there the total final deposits were of rupees 1 lakh. We need to divide it by initial deposits that were of rupees 10,000. So K came out to be 10, and K over here is credit multiplier. So the credit will be multiplied 10 times, that is 10,000 multiplied by 10, and finally it will come out to be 1 lakh rupees. So this is the work of credit multiplier, which shows the relation between the credit multiplier and the CRR, or how the amount of initial deposits affects the multiplier process. So this was all about our money multiplier or credit multiplier process, and we came to know about that how the credit is created or the money is created by the commercial banks in the market. Just you need to keep the assumptions in your mind as well as the various factors which affect the credit creation process. So this was all about our today's video.